what is going on, kids? How the hell is everybody?
Happy
Good.
Monday.
Yeah, it is definitely a Monday. I had to spend Saturday night hanging out with Keith, so it was down.
The best night of his week. Bernie and I were just talking a minute ago. It's already 60 degrees here. We hit 80 yesterday in Texas, and
we're supposed to get 90 today.
Bernie woke up to a warm 35 this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you keep that shit up there, man. I have no desire to have any of that cold crap coming down this way. And
I'll be honest, man, like I can handle the cold. It's the snow that drives me crazy. And thankfully we haven't had much snow. It's the shoveling, it's the driving and that bullshit. Cold I can handle.
Dude, there's a old joke that went around for a while. It's like one of those printed out ones you used to get back in a kid. And it's like, oh, I just moved to a snowy area. Look how gorgeous and beautiful the snow is. And the first day I shoveled the snow, like day 5, they're like the snowplow came by again. And like day 20, it's like, and then the fucking snowplow came by again. I fucking chunked my shovel at that asshole,
So, yeah. Day 60, the moving truck is here. We're moving back south.
Right. So, but Keith and I went to Stevie's play. That was the best one she's put on yet. I mean,
yeah, one of the most incredibly talented staffs. I mean, they always put on good productions. I love seeing all that stuff. There was I think it was Isaiah's wife.
Yeah.
Good Lord, she had a set of pipes.
I mean, we were in Branson, Missouri. Hey, good morning, Miss Deb. We were in Branson, Missouri once upon a time, and in Branson they do all the big Broadway plays and musicals and shit. And it's kind of like all the backup actors for the big Broadway stuff or the big LA stuff. And for this one show, their main singer had, gone out sick. So they flew a guy in from Broadway to fill in the role. And the guy had performed the role several times on Broadway. The difference in caliber of this one guy singing to the rest of these people who are professionally singing this every week that they had just flown in from Broadway was insane.
I can imagine.
Just well, that was also the same room where they said, "Hey, Al, can your veteran stand up?" And Elizabeth and I were dating, so I'm 27 years old and still barely able to grow facial hair. And I stood up. And this gal behind me, she goes, "You ain't old enough." And this old grandma behind me goes, "You stand up tall and proud, young man. Tell that old bitch to shut up." I was like, I'm about to be in the middle of a grandma fight.
Oh, my God. That's awesome.
So
you're in the middle of a gilf sandwich.
Yeah, a gilf sandwich. That's so wrong. So, like Florida, it's a dirty box of Q-tips with all the blue hairs, the green hairs, the red hairs, and
That's my retirement plan. Be careful.
Dude, I always tell Elizabeth if she ever leaves me, I don't give a damn what she looks like. I'm going for money. So I'm just gonna take one for the team, boys. That's just what's gonna happen. Bringing the violence. There's Phyllis.
I love Phyllis.
Dude, she's so awesome. She's so awesome. Well, I'm pretty stoked for today's guest, so this should be a lot of fun. You guys all know this person actually really damn well. So this person has been around for probably about a year or so. They actually flew in for the Badass Business Summit. We're extremely stoked to come in for that. They really bailed me out of a very, very gnarly situation and saved my ass hugely when we had a huge technical problem once upon a time. She is as crazy as we are. She also is one of the purple hair twins. And she happens to also be in Bernie's group. Miss Julie, turn on your camera, babe. Welcome to the stage.
Okay, nobody warned me that I was going to have to do this without Stevie, and I just have to deal with you three assholes by myself.
Happy Monday fucking morning to you, too.
No, she wasn't like, "Hey, great to see y'all." She's like, "I got with you three assholes."
Yeah, right. Okay, that's the way. Any other way. Yeah, thanks.
That's the way Julie shows up. I mean, if you go back and remember the first time you two met.
Dude. Oh, dude, right? Literally.
I set the stage for that one.
Dude, I get onto it. I'd never met Julie before, and all of a sudden, Julie pops up in camera, and she goes, "Donnie, your brother's got a message for you." And she goes, and shoots me 2 birds. That was literally our first interaction.
Very not easy to throw Donnie off a little bit. I
No,
got him thrown off just a little bit that morning. It was amazing.
I really reaction, Keith.
Yeah, that was definitely a first, man. That never happens. So,
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was so crazy.
Somebody's got to keep him on his toes, Julie.
Right? So, Peyton, let's play that first game. Well, go ahead, Keith.
I almost did my hair purple this morning.
Dude, Peyton, you
fucking got him.
You got a pay raise for that one.
Oh, put a point on the chalkboard for dumbass.
Don't worry, Keith. You'll like this game.
Word puzzle.
The whole game is just unscramble the word.
I got it. Unscramble the word.
Unscramble it. Yeah, you'll figure it out. Yeah.
Word puzzle. I got it.
Easy round.
Easy round.
Saint.
Oh,
Stain.
that's one for Donnie.
Boom.
Actually, it's actually stain.
I was going to say Stain.
Saint is what I was
Ain't a word. Ain't a word.
When y'all are gonna find the real word,
Royal.
he's gonna find
Royal.
13.
Royal.
Yeah, it's royal.
Orally.
Orally.
He's not wrong, you know.
No, he's right. All right, moving up.
Oh, bigger words.
It's the average round.
Master
Master. Damn.
or remast. If you're a sail ship.
Stammer.
Sail ship, sailboat,
Stammer.
whatever.
Gamers.
Gamers. Oh, look at
No,
Julie coming in.
It's Grames.
Grames. Mr. Gams.
The gamers missed that one. Seriously?
Welder.
Wow.
Welder. Fucking shit, man.
Ernie, you're crushing it.
Yeah. Damn Keith and his abnormal brain.
Yeah, right?
Fucking Keith level.
He's fucked up. It's okay.
Liberals.
No.
That's not true.
No. Holy shit. Wow, that's a lot of letters.
I'm letting Keith have a field day, seeing if he can figure it out.
Wow. Librarian? No.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
I almost said very early. I almost said bridal, but it's too many letters. But bridal's in there.
Beelzebub.
No.
What did you do? Just go to the freaking dictionary? Like, what's the longest word I can scramble?
Right, exactly. No, I've got like 3 of these too. And
Oh,
I've got long fucking words just to fuck with Keith. You tap out?
Labradoodles.
Sure as shit ain't it.
What? Billiards. Oh, that's actually
That's a good one.
That was really damn good.
It's like,
one.
how many can I make sure to duplicate L's and I's?
I'm not a
just to
pool.
fuck
I'm
them
not
up?
a pool player, so
Oh, Phyllis got billiards.
Phyllis got it.
Well, look at Deb. Friggin'. Plagiarism.
No, it sounds like a tap out. That's what it sounds like to me, Keith.
Templates. Damn.
I think this is the last one.
Stain. Mark.
Cum stain. Cum
That's,
stain.
I saw it too, and I'm like, I am not yelling that out. Craniums.
Keith will yell it out.
Chrome stain.
Tapped out, huh?
That's 3.
Get it.
And Keith was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get all of these. You can't tell me.
Yeah. You did a good job with these this morning. That's a tough
Tried to
one.
fuck you up. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Romantic.
Well,
That's why none of us
again.
got it.
Yeah. None of us are romantics. Keith, fuck off. That's right.
Nice. I think it's the first time we've actually had a scoreboard.
Yeah. I'll try and
and
bring
look-
scoreboards
and-
into
and
it.
who
Wait,
was on
wait.
top of-
How did Bernie get above me? I at least guessed one. What the fuck?
Because I'm a co-host, Julie. I don't know what the hell.
Well, if you look at it,
Oh
pull
my
it
God,
back
it's the mustache, apparently.
up. See, you're the only one who did all right, Julie.
Okay.
Really?
Everyone else, fuck off.
Why am I Mr. Pink? Don't
Why else-
say it.
who else
It's
would be
movie
Mr.
screen.
Matches your underwear.
Right?
All right, moving on, I guess.
That's it. All right, Miss Automation, email automation, sales automation, just all around freaking entrepreneur machine. Hey, wow, it highlights me. Thank you. I'm gonna interview Julie, but it's gonna make it all about me.
Yeah.
Right? Let's put it all the camera all on me. So Julie, introduce yourself, tell the world a little bit about you.
Yeah, I am.
My name is Julie, and I've got purple. Oh, Julie, sorry, my bad.
That's great, Keith. You only get one so far.
So far, right?
Yeah, Julie Tremblay. I am a certified entrepreneur expert, and I am a CRM and automations badass. And recently, I have kind of refigured out what I'm going to do with my business, be what I'm going to do when I grow up, and that is going to be a CRM specialist for realtors.
Love that.
Oh, wow. Nice.
How did you get into automation and all that to begin with? I mean, nobody in third grade goes, I'm going to wake up and automate shit.
Nope.
It started back in corporate when I just did like any job I've had has been pretty much technical related. And I worked in association management systems, which are kind of work similar to what a CRM does. So when I started my business, I was kind of doing all kinds of random tech support. And then I started looking into Ontraport and became certified with them and was like, oh, this is kind of fun. I can start automating things, making manual processes easier for people. And I don't know, I'm just that weird techie person, but I also love talking to people, which is why I have a purple unicorn over here, because the purple hair, obviously, I love tech and I love talking to people, even you, Donnie.
Listen, we have all that in common. Donnie and I are also very, very techie people. I'm surprised we didn't end up in automation.
Bullshit.
I mean,
I've been on call with you, Keith.
The idea of just sitting behind a computer all day, I'm in. I mean,
right, yeah.
Cube Nation, that's exactly where I should have hung my hat. I actually had a job once upon a time where I was so bad at the technical stuff that they sent me to college just to learn like the basic Excel, Word, and other programs because I was so bad at it.
That wasn't college, that was middle school.
Last week.
So why realtors? You know, that's an interesting twist to go that route with realtors.
Because for 26 years, I worked in the realtor world. I worked at a local office as a receptionist for a while. I worked at 2 local associations, and then I worked for the state association for 19 years. So I guess I'm just going back to my roots and to the people and the clients that I know.
Wow. What did you do with them?
Well, at the state association, I ran the association management system, and I also helped build out the continuing education program where instructors come in and get certified to teach realtors, and then they get CE credits for them. So I helped build out that platform. So like I said, just tech has been my thing, and I've just had this realization that realtors are my people.
We need to figure out how to get you introduced to as many mortgage brokers as we possibly can, because they know all the realtors in their area that they're working with on a daily basis. So
yeah, for sure.
Right.
For sure. How did you come to find us as success champions? I don't think I even actually know.
Julie and I know the story.
Yeah. Somebody introduced us for some god awful reason. No, yeah, Daniel Andrews introduced me to, I believe, both of you, and I think I talked to Keith.
Oh, I remember
earlier.
that.
Oh, actually, yeah, so you were supposed to get introduced to somebody else, and he didn't respond for 3 or 4 weeks. So Julie and I jumped on, had a call, and I was told explicitly, do not talk to Julie about Success Champions. Don't do it. So of course,
who does an introduction and says, I'm going to introduce you to somebody, but you can't talk to them about your business, your company, or what you do?
Assholes. That's
right.
Right. So people that don't actually understand the power of networking and everything else, they have no clue what's going on. So that's who does stupid shit like that. But yeah, so we talked, and of course, in the first 5 minutes, we're talking about Success Champions and everything else. So it took I think 3 or 4 weeks to actually you actually get in touch with you, Donnie, because she was supposed to talk to somebody else, and that never happened. And then you got
Well, I
introduced.
think the
And
part of the big delay when I was first introduced was who did the initial introduction. Right? I'm always going to weigh how a person shows up. And when they introduce me to somebody, I'm going to be cautious. So I'm glad Keith snuck in there and actually was like, no. You got to sit down and talk to Julie. Because you truly did bail our ass out. I mean, when we went through a big changeover with Entreport, we would not have been able to do that whole changeover without you, and literally in 2 seconds, we're able to shut down the system, launch a system back up, and bailed our ass out. So forever grateful for that. I still freaking hate Entreport, but I'm grateful for you making it work. That is a great way. Oh, your screen froze just right at the moment. That was a great picture for you on my end. So now you're doing a lot of things online. You're doing a lot of networking. You're on a leadership team with Bernie's group and the likes. All of these things that you're doing to build your business. Well, better question. How old were you, if you don't mind? I mean, you don't have to answer that completely, but you weren't a young chicken when you started your business, right? Why
Right.
so late in life would you freaking decide I'm going to jump in and launch a business?
I was tired of getting so miserable at the job I was in. At one point, I had my manager had to take me to the hospital because I thought I was having a heart attack. It ended up being stress related. It wasn't a heart attack. It was just all stress related issues that I was having. It scared the shit out of me. So I had applied for a different job, thought for sure I was going to get it. Went to a personal development conference in Dallas with a friend of mine, and I came back going, honestly, during the conference, I got the thanks but no thanks message from the other company. So everybody's in this conference all hyped up and excited. I'm sitting in my seat just sobbing. Like, that was my exit, and now I don't have that exit. What the fuck am I going to do? So there was a Facebook group for this conference, and I was commenting in there and told them what happened during the conference. And somebody said, "Have you ever thought of starting your own business?" I'm like, no. Started looking into it, took some training on how to build my business from the ground up. And so that was like in September of 19. In January of 2020, I went part-time. And then on Friday, March 13th of 2020, when the world was shutting down for COVID, I gave my 2 weeks notice and started my own business.
Isn't that crazy? I think that happens to a lot of people, though. I mean, like me, I didn't even know you could be an entrepreneur until I turned 40. It just wasn't something that we talked about as kids. There's blue collar kids growing up. You work, you get a job, you retire. And I think a lot of us that are our generation ended up that way. Hell, even when I got into sales, Keith was the only sales guy I called or I knew, and I called him and said, "How do you sell?" And he pretty much just hung up on me. I mean,
it's funny. I think 6, 7, maybe even 8 years before that, I kept telling him, I said, "You got to get out of what you're doing and get into sales." He kept calling me and telling me, "Hey, I want to make more money. I want to make more money." I'm like, "Well, you got to get into sales. It's the only way we have an opportunity to make more money because neither one of us went to college, right?" I'm like, "You got to find a sales job and then go kill it and make those commissions and bonuses." So he finally got into sales, and that was the funny thing. He did call me, and I'm like, I can't just tell you how to go sell. I mean, it's not like a process that you learn overnight, right? It's a process you actually have to go through and figure it out. And so,
yeah, 100%. But, it was the greatest move I ever made. It freaking set me up for everything else. So, I know you're married and you guys have a cabin up in the woods that you also like to sneak off to on a regular basis. Tell us a little bit about that world.
We have a cabin in Harrison, Michigan, and it's kind of in the woods. It's kind of funny. Like, you know how if you go to a campground, there's like the loop of all the campsites. It's all cabins like that. It's just this big loop, and we have like a little section of cabins. And a lot of us, we have a bunch of great neighbors up there. We all have UTVs and, go trail riding, and it's just a lot of fun. It's just like a whole different world up there, just a couple hours away, and it's just a whole different world.
That's so awesome. Having those places like that, is just a cool way to escape, and you got to escape every once in a while.
Absolutely.
So what's a big goal? What's a big ambition? What's a big dream?
The big dream is to sell our house and travel mostly in the wintertime to warmer states. I'm also in Michigan with Bernie. You guys were talking about the weather earlier. It's going to be almost 70 tomorrow. I'm thrilled. So I'm smoking something tomorrow while my husband's at work, just so it's so nice out.
When you smoke something, do you roll it? Do you put it in a bowl? How do you do that?
That kind of smoking something.
Oh,
right.
I saw you looking at Bernie. I saw you looking at Bernie when you said that. I thought maybe he'd be able to help you.
Well, we could up here. I mean, it's legal in Michigan, so
that's true. That's true. It's like drinking a beer, man.
So the goal is to sell the house, get an RV, fifth wheel, whatever, and travel and stay at our cabin in the summers and travel, when it starts getting cold and crappy.
That's awesome. Hey, listen, last Saturday I smoked this past Saturday I smoked a 15-pound pork butt, 20-hour smoke.
Yeah. When did you get to eat it?
Gosh, Sunday morning when I sobered up.
So it got done right about the time we left to go see Stevie's play. It was so awesome.
Matter of fact, our older brother had to pull it off, but he's like, dude, I pulled it off and it just shredded with 2 forks. I'm like, oh, it was good. Good. I had it for breakfast yesterday morning.
Nice.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. This weekend I'm doing a 15-pound brisket and a 4-pound picanha roast. Cannot wait.
Nice. I haven't actually done a picanha yet.
Oh, they're so good.
I did ribs last night and they were off the chain. So, well, Julie, thank you for hanging out with us, babe. Awesome having you on here and a part of this. Awesome getting to know you and having you, just your magic behind the scenes, helping us out with all the things. So oftentimes if you guys are getting emails and stuff from me or from our company, it's Julie doing all the magic behind the scenes on that. So
yeah, we can't talk that well.
Yeah, God no. God no. So but thank you for hanging out, hon. Stick around. We're going to have some more fun and get after it with some more games and such. All right, boys, let's talk about it. What's our worst sales calls ever? Who wants to start us off?
Bernie's got like a list of 70 of them.
Well, I've got one that I'll share. So the year was 2004. I was selling mortgages at Quicken Loans and made a phone call and reached this woman named Jan. So I was talking through all the loan requirements and blah, blah, blah. And I said, will there be any other co-borrowers on the loan with you? And Jan said, yeah, my husband, Leslie. And so I paused for a second because I, at the time, didn't really recognize that a man could be named Leslie. And so
they can also be named Donnie.
Right. So I asked her, I said, so is she working full time? And she said, Leslie is a man. I said, well, it is 2004. I don't know. We can do whatever we want. And she promptly hung up on me.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
This one didn't.
Awesome.
This one wasn't me. This was actually a guy I worked with and what he did. And trust me, don't do this, guys. So I was selling commercial printing, and he was trying to land Radio Shack as an account that he was going after. And while trying to go after the account, the president of Radio Shack had just been fired because they found out that he lied about actually having a degree. He said he had a degree from this theological university, and the university didn't even have a show like a record of this guy attending the school. So he just totally fibbed on the whole damn thing. So the guy I worked with in, trying to keep this guy in his radar because he had developed a relationship with him and figured he'd land on his feet somewhere and wanted to stay close to the guy, sent flowers to the guy's personal house saying, sorry about the job. I know you'll land on your feet and some good things will come. Problem is the flowers got to the house before he did. So his wife found out he got fired from the flowers the sales guy sent to their house. So,
Oh my
so
god.
one, why would you send condolence flowers? I mean,
Yeah, I've never heard of that before.
no. I should also say this same guy, also in the Radio Shack, actually was the Tandy Center at that point, riding up the elevator, was bitching and moaning about the head print buyer and how the guy wouldn't give him a shot, and the dude was a total
Yeah,
jackass.
I know this story.
Yep.
Yeah.
And friggin'
Who was
turns
in the
out that
elevator?
the guy's wife, who also worked in the company,
Mm.
was in the elevator the whole time and heard everything. So be very mindful of where the hell you are and what the hell you say.
Yeah, one of my worst sales calls of all time actually ended up turning into a lifelong friendship with a now a buddy of mine. But when I was very young, there was a big account, the Indiana hospital system in Indianapolis. But I lived in St. Louis at the time, and I called and called and called. Finally, got a hold of this idiot, and he said, "If you can be here tomorrow at 11 o'clock, I'll see you for 15 minutes." I'm like, finally, after 3 months of chasing this dude down, I finally got a call. So I drive the 4 or 5 hours the next morning all the way to Indianapolis. Now, I didn't know at that time, Indianapolis does not do daylight savings. So 6 months out of the year, they're Eastern time, and 6 months out of the year, they're Central time. Well, how the fuck if you don't supposed to know that if you don't live in Indiana, right? So I get there an hour late. And so I walk into the warehouse where this guy is, and they're having this giant pizza party in the back that some other vendor must have brought in. And some little bitty dude walked up and said, "Can I help you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Keith. I'm looking for Kevin." He goes, "I'm Kevin." He goes, "You're an hour late. There's the door." And I'm like, I was so pissed off that I didn't do my research or whatever. And so, and I went to say something. He goes, I gave you a chance, man. You're an hour late. We're in the middle of something now. So there's the door. And he was a huge dick about it. So I turned around, I go to walk out the door, and I thought, you know what? Fuck this. Turned around. I said, you know what? Go fuck yourself. I just drove 4 hours over here to see you. I didn't know about this stupid time zone thing. And I said, that's a bunch of fucking horseshit. So you know what? Shove it up your ass. I don't want your business anyway. And the guy starts walking towards me. He looks at me and he goes, "Who the fuck do you think you are?" And I'm like, nobody. It's pissed off. I've been trying to get a hold of you for 3 months, finally get a hold of everything else. He goes, "You know what?" He goes, "Are you hungry?" And I'm like, well, yeah. Ended up going back. He introduced me to everybody in the warehouse, sat there around the pizza party, introduced me to the vendor and everything else. And that guy was Kevin Stevens. We have been personal friends for 28 years. Now, when I'm in Indianapolis, I stay at his house with his wife. He was my largest customer through 5 different companies in the medical sales field and everything else. But the only reason he respected me was because I told him to go fuck himself. And that's what he wanted. He wanted someone that was going to speak up the truth and everything else and not hold back and kiss his ass. So
that's so awesome.
Nice.
So awesome. I had one where somewhat similar, not as bad, but Hawk Electronics, I was chasing them for almost 2 years to land their account because I knew they had $1 million worth of printing, and finally got the appointment. And, you know, I didn't usually grab lunch before I go to an appointment, but of course I stopped by freaking Jack in the Box, you know, swing in, grab a freaking burger. On the way there, sure as shit, freaking all over the front of my shirt, right? And I'm just coated, and there's nothing to be done. I'm like, my choice is I can run home, change shirts, and be late to the call, or I can just show up to the call. I freaking like, screw it. I'm just going in as is. And you should have seen the looks of the reception, because it wasn't like a small thing, you know, because of course I tried to clean it up and just smeared shit everywhere. Right. And so now it's not a small mess. I'm just freaking covered. And even the receptionist is like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I got an appointment," and I'm telling her, and she starts laughing. She goes, "I'd have went home." I'm like, "Well, I didn't want to be late for the damn thing." And freaking, Heidi, you know, who had the account that was the guy that ended up making the purchasing decision. She came out and looked at me cross-eyed, and she goes, "We'll see how this goes." She goes, "But I probably would have went home and changed shirts and you know, she ended up being $1 million account for me, and you know, for over the years. And she still to this day will bust my chops every once in a while and go, "Don't go eat lunch before you go on a sales call."
Yeah, well, I was driving down to central Illinois one time from St. Louis for a sales calls, and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to shave. So I run into like a gas station and just buy a razor. And I'm in my car while I'm driving. I'm just dry shaving. I mean, I'd never done it before. I didn't know, right? So next thing you know, I've got a white shirt on and a black tie, and I've got it undone and loose, and I'm dry shaving my neck and stuff. And I'm driving. I wouldn't even pay attention. I'm driving like 30 miles, and all of a sudden, I keep my neck is getting all moist and stuff. And I look up, and my whole shirt is red, just full of blood. I'm dry shaving, everything else. My neck is like just red from rash and stuff like that. And so now I got to pull into another gas station and get like some aftershave or something. And that burns like hell. Now my neck is all red and inflamed, and my shirt is all covered in blood. And so I had to run to Kohl's last minute in Springfield, Illinois. I find like a Kohl's like clothing store, go in and buy a shirt in that pack with the tie already on it, and take my shirt off, throw it in the trunk, put a brand new shirt. It's got those lines all over it because it's folded. And I show up to the counter. She's like, "It looks like you just walked in here out of a store." And I'm like, and she goes, "What's wrong with your neck?" So she was a sweet old lady, and I was telling her what happened. And she's dying laughing. I'm like, "Yeah," I said, I thought I could do this.
Selling commercial printing, and on the way to a call, I got out of my car at the time. I drove a Dodge Stratus. I got out of the car, and as soon as I stood up, I went to zip up because I just double checked. I always try to double check, and as soon as I did, the whole freaking zipper just fucking busted on the damn slacks. I'm like, son of a bitch! But there was a Target across the street, and so I was going to be late. But I ran over. And it was a requirement where we worked that you had to be in slacks, tie, and everything as you sold. But the only thing I had time, I just grabbed blue jeans off the shelf. So they never knew, or none the wiser, but that was the first sales call I ever did in a pair of freaking blue jeans, because the whole fly just went right out the damn freaking front of those slacks. So, but if you're in...
Shouldn't buy your slacks at Goodwill. That probably wouldn't happen.
Dude, once upon a time, that's where I got all my damn clothes. Especially when I was working in St. Louis. Jesus. Everything was hand-me-downs. But if you're going to work in sales for any amount of time, you're absolutely going to have some sort of just crazy slip up that you're just going to have to roll with it.
If you don't, you're not working hard enough.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Man, I've got some inappropriate ones that I won't tell, but I've got some other crazy ass stories of dumb shit that I've done on sales calls.
Yeah, we'll do a private show to talk about those.
just working with the public in general, right? The more people that you interact with, the more likely you're going to see some weird, crazy shit. Just natural. It's going to happen.
And then if you want to multiply that by 3, go to Michigan.
That's
true. Oh, dude, I forgot. We had another guy at Global Group when I worked there that was arrested for dumpster diving at another print shop. So when in print shops they throw out the blanks, so he was jumping in their dumpsters to she used to keep shirts in her toe. Keith and I weren't that smart.
Yeah, you're way smarter than we are. That goes without saying,
right? But this guy was at another print shop, freaking dumping in their going in their dumpsters, pulling out trash, so he could figure out what things they were printing, so he knew who to call on and go after those companies. They got him for trespassing and something else on their property, but was arrested for dumpster diving at a competitor.
It's funny. I said Michigan, and then I realized one of the funniest things I ever did was actually in Michigan, outside of Detroit. I just got a brand new Franklin Covey day planner, those nice big leather ones, and a Yeti cup with my name on it back when I drank coffee. And I'm pulling out of my hotel, and like some asshole is honking at me. I didn't even pull out in front of the guy, but he's honking at me, and I thought he was like flipping me off, and it's up at the end of it, he was pointing. And by the time I got to the next destination, wherever I was going, that Franklin Covey thing and my coffee cup were on the roof of my car, and he was trying to help me. And somewhere they got lost back by the hotel where I pulled out. So asshole Michigan people weren't quite such assholes that morning.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be such an asshole,
right?
Too funny. Any other crazy stories before we move on? Peyton, let's kick it. So, all right, we're going to try and do this. This one doesn't have a whiteboard function that's all that great. So I am going to try and do this over here, but I'm going to teach. Have you guys ever heard of the drama triangle? Do we know what that is? This will be awesome, then. So this was something that I was taught back when I first got into sales training. And I think right now kind of given the times that we're in, it's pretty powerful. So the drama triangle is three states of minds that we can get in, or three roles that we can get in at any given time. So they're just kind of three states that we can be in. One state says we're always got to try and be right. Right. The second state says we're always going to blame somebody. The third state, it's always going to come from a place of fear. So as I show these, you may have seen these before. So in this scenario, one is the hero, and your hero is they're always trying to just fix it, make it right now, right? They're always trying to save the day, and it's usually like some sort of quick fix, like if somebody is hungry, you go catch him a fish, right? I'm a hero. I got him a fish. Instead of teaching the person to fish, they went and just caught him one. It's like, seeing a homeless guy on the side of the road who's asking for money, you give him a burger, but you don't stop and ask, how can you actually help them get out of homelessness if that's a choice they want to do, yada, yada, yada. They just want to fix it right then and there. So it's usually a very, very short-term fix. The second one is the villain. And the villain is the person that always is the blame type person, right? So they're always trying to blame something for it to happen. So you can be a villain of myself when you say things like, man, I should have done that. I always show up this way, right? You become your own villain. You become the villain of others when you say things like, God, I wish they would have done this. Why didn't they do that? Because they didn't do this, we didn't get X, right? So it's this constant blame of other people. And then the bottom one is the victim. And the victim is, oh, woe is me. Life is against them, right? Everything happens to them. Nothing is good. It all is really, really foul. So we go to these different three states in an instance. And the best scenario I've ever heard of this is if you were to watch an episode of Cops, okay? And there's, let's say, in an episode of Cops, there's a domestic disturbance, right? A husband and wife going at it for some reason. So now you have the cop who may have struck his wife. I know this is a horrible scenario, but it's the best way to show this, right? The husband, is yelling at his wife. So the husband is the villain at this point, yelling at his wife, who is a victim. The police officer, now being the hero, walks into the situation. As soon as the police officer walks in as the hero and looks at the villain and says, please stop yelling at your wife, the wife instantly becomes the hero and goes, no, don't talk to my husband this way. The husband, right, then becomes the victim, right? And then now the cop is the villain, right? In that quick scenario, in 2 seconds, everybody changes roles. So we do this all the time in social interactions, but we often do it to ourselves. So there's times when we're the hero, where we go in and we do the quick fix, and that may be finding the cheat code for a game. Something along, we're trying to find these random hacks and things to try and get ahead versus actually doing the work. Or the villain is where you always, throw the idea out there of, well, if they would just show up, if they would have done their job, then I wouldn't, be here. And we flip to the victim quite often, where we're constantly saying, well, God, I totally screwed that up. Why does this always happen to me? And, that type of mindset. So what we have to learn how to do is we have to learn to completely get off this triangle. If we stay in any of these three states of mind, we're going to find ourselves completely trapped, constantly trying to figure out, are we being the hero, are we being the villain, or we're being the victim, right? It's a natural state of mind for a lot of people. And it's tough to recognize that you're in this state. I will say being the victim is the easiest state to recognize you're in. The other two can bounce back and forth. But the way to get off the drama triangle is to completely repackage it a different way. So usually I have these side by side up on I don't know if I can do this well. We'll try this really quick. Oops. Control Z.
I don't mind living in the triangle because I'm always right.
Yeah, no shit. You think so? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I did bring it up before. No. Here. Cool. So the way to get off the drama triangle. Oops, now it's not showing right. Stop share, 2 seconds. Present. Share screen. Window. Boom. Boom. Now side by side. So the way to get off the drama triangle is you actually have to slip to. Oh, of course not. You have to change the actual role of each character. So the villain, we'll go with the victim becomes the creator. So instead of saying, "Oh, woe is me," why is this always happening to me? You get to say, "I get to," or "I'm going to," and you start creating the situation you're going to be in and how you want to show up. So instead of saying, "Why does this happen to me?" you get to say, "I get to do this." So it's on a day you're like, "Fuck, I don't want to make cold calls." Right. In a very, very victim mindset, you flip that to simply say, "Wow, I get to make cold calls today." Right. And you start moving into a creator mindset. The villain becomes the challenger. So instead of blaming everybody, you challenge the way you're thinking. You challenge your own thoughts and how you show up. And so what that looks like is instead of why are they always acting that way? Why do they always do that? Why aren't they doing their job? You then challenge the thought process of what could I do to help them get their stuff right? What could I do to help them get better at what they do so it benefits me? Or what could I do with the situation? Right? How do you challenge the situation versus blame the situation and actually get it to move forward? And then the final one, instead of being the hero, and the hero, they're really looking for somebody to say, "Attaboy, well done," right? That's one of the indicators of being a hero. Instead of being a hero, you have to become a coach. And a coach doesn't try and fix anybody because everybody's already great. It's the ability to, instead of going in and trying to just take over and say, "Hey, let me do that for you," it's going, "All right, here's where we're at. What should we do here?" And allowing them to come to their own conclusions. Same thing for us. Instead of saying, "Hey, let's go find the easy route," because every time we try and make our life easy, all we do is make it harder, because the easy route is always going to be the hard route. Because we don't actually learn the things we're supposed to do, we actually have to put ourselves in situations where we actually can go and learn the thing, right? So when you find yourself acting out in an irrational manner, it's usually because you're somewhere caught on the drama triangle. You're either trying to play the hero where you're trying to do the quick fix, you're trying to be the villain where you're blaming everybody else, or you're trying to be the victim where everything is on you. And what you need to be is the creator, the coach, and the challenger. So it's a cool mindset shift that helps out a lot of people if you can actually recognize where you're at. So make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually.
It's really cool because you can see it played out in sales quite often, where you're on a sales call and right before you pick up the phone, you get a lot of that. "Oh God, I don't want to do this." Very much victim. So, and then when somebody yells at you, you have a choice. You can go hero, villain, and all those moves can change intermittently, really, really fast.
Yeah, Bernie actually sent me a private message while you were doing that, and he goes, "Watch this! I'm going to make my own drama circle."
Well, Bernie's kind of the permanent villain with the mustache. He's we're just gonna call him Evil, Dr. Evil. So, all right, Peyton, let's kick it. So this, go ahead.
Here. Let me see if I can. I've never done this before. Let me see how I do this. Share screen.
I'm trying to get mine to quit too. It's not doing it well. Come on. As we all try and do this.
That work? Can you guys see my screen?
There. Now we can, but not what you're trying to share. You got to tell it to share the other image though.
Oh, you do? All right, hang on. Let me try it again. Present.
Oh, I thought you were so techie.
Slide.
Right?
Oh my god. Hey, yeah. See, I told you I was very techie.
So
hey, look, I finally figured it out. you guys see that?
There it is.
Slow the fuck down. It only took a half hour to pull it up.
Hang on, I
but
was
well
trying to figure
done.
out. I got a whole slideshow with all of these. Let me see if it'll do the next one. This one actually gets kind of funny. Did the picture change?
No.
Nope.
Well,
You meant to
son of a
share 'em one
bitch.
by.
Hang on. One at a time?
I'm not sure.
Damn, you know how much work that is?
So here's one. Oh, you can't read it. It says caution. This sign has sharp edges.
That's something really small. Is that bridges out or something?
Yeah. Reproduction.
Yeah. So for the next 2 kilometers, it's a kangaroo fucking zone.
Wow, that's a thing.
I have a sign in my office that says the older I get, the more people can kiss my ass.
Nice.
Let's see. Oh, I gotta pull these up. Oh, here's a funny one. Let me see if I can share this one. I'm glad I'm so techie. Here we go.
We're all thrilled.
Yeah. So 2 different signs here. The one on the left, if you get caught peeing, they'll cut your balls off. And the one on the right, if you get caught peeing, they're gonna put it on you. They're gonna put it on YouTube. So don't be peeing in public.
Nice.
Wow.
All right, let me get my screen up.
Yeah.
All right.
I got one I pulled from Michigan here too.
Is it coming?
Gotcha.
There it is.
That's the traffic.
And I love that the sign is a robust person as well. You know, like it's perfect.
What's funny, if it had like a mop on its head, it would have been looked like Donald Trump.
Our subs are 8 inches when it's
Oh,
cold
my
outside.
Way to go, Jimmy Johns. Love you.
That's hilarious.
So I've always been a fan of the don't pee in our pools. You know, we have an ool.
Yep.
This one right here.
Yeah. My girlfriend in high school had that. They had that up in their house.
Does that say molest?
Yeah.
Yes, please
Yeah,
don't feed or molest the alligators. Apparently, it's a big problem.
Those
wherever
signs are up all over Florida, everywhere you go. And by molest, they mean don't interact. Don't actually walk up and bang one in the arse. Do not breathe under the water.
What? How is that even a sign?
because
how many
clearly
scuba
someone
divers have
tried.
died?
That's why we have signs, because someone tried that dumb shit. And then,
Meth
of course, we're
Bible
going to end
camp.
with the
Dead
Meth
end.
Bible camp. Yep.
Wait,
Oh my gosh.
I got questions. What is a meth Bible camp?
Well, I mean, they're reading the Bible and smoking meth. It's a dead end.
Well, the funny thing is, it's probably Methodist Bible camp, and they shortened it down to meth before meth was a thing.
Wow.
There's a New Smyrna Beach, Florida. You can probably even Google this. There is a meth day church downtown New Smyrna Beach, and that's what the sign out front says. And it's meth with a period at the end of it, so it's supposed to be Methodist, but they shortened the word, and they just never fixed it. So,
wow.
let's see if I can do one more here.
I got one.
This is from the state of Michigan. I'm pretty sure.
This is for me. I had to have my contribution.
Men to the left, women. Holy drag. Get the fuck out of here.
That's terrible. That should be banned.
All right, here's a couple coming at
Echo
you.
bad mate.
Oh, if you can read it. 100 is the
100
temperature,
is
not
the-
the speed. Slow down. Cousin Eddie says Twitter's full. Put your phone down. Work zone. We don't speed through your office. Tailgating is for football, not for highways. May the 4th be with you. Text I will not. Hold on. Where's the one?
Your mom called. Are you buckled?
Hold on. There was, orange cones means no phones. Oh, where was a really good one?
What did Mike Mallon said? only in Texas. Anything that starts with "hold my beer" is prohibited.
Oh, the other one, where'd it go? Dang it. Freaking, I lost it. Oh, it says visiting in-laws. Question mark. Slow down and get there late.
Now I found this one, and I'm not sure exactly what it means. You guys might have to help me out. I'm not sure if he's trying to move his hand to quiet her mouth, or
Wow.
not quite sure what that one might have been. Maybe in one of those nudist camps. Like, just don't grab boobies.
Oh, I love it when you find like the competing like fast food sign places, and they're going back and forth on the fast food signs. So not sure what that is, but
I'll give you guys one last one here, because we saw kangaroos doing something naughty earlier. This one must also be in Australia, and I believe kangaroos here are skiing.
wow.
What the hell could that even be?
Too funny. So awesome. So what are big things coming up this week for you guys? What big things are you working on? What is Rockstar status, and what are you excited about?
Yeah, I got a bit of a slow week. I got about a dozen virtual coffees scheduled, but I got a free workshop going on next week with one of my clients, Eric Gerard. He's doing a free master class from his leadership development courses. So if you are not already connected with me on LinkedIn, please do, and check out some of the posts. You can register there.
Oh,
March 6th.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
I have March 7th at 1:30 Central Time. It's a LinkedIn event called You Have a Network, but is it the right network? So if you guys have seen that, I've invited a bunch of you guys to that event, and talk about people that are in networking, but they can't quite get the traction or the ROI they're looking for. They're not getting the right introductions. Maybe they're not getting many referrals, things like that. So come hang out. We're going to talk about the journey I went through to get to where I'm at now, and how we might be able to change a few small things to get going in the right direction.
Yeah, it's pretty funny how Keith got involved with us and all the things we're doing, because, you know, Keith always outsold me over the years until he started his own business and didn't know what the hell he was doing. So,
yeah, it is a funny thing. If you guys haven't heard the story, right? I really didn't have any idea what Donnie did. I kind of had a small clue, you know, what he had done, but didn't really know what he did. And when he asked me if he could help me, I said, "Fuck off." And 3 months later, I'd landed 2 solid accounts doing about $15 a month in revenue. So kind of went crawling back to him and said, "Okay, what am I doing wrong?" And so over the period of the last 2.5, almost 3 years now, I've gotten this thing down, dialed in pretty well, and hopefully you guys can learn from all of my stupid mistakes.
Yeah. So I'm curious, if you write a book about failure and it doesn't sell, is it a success? No. Well, if electricity comes from electrons, does morality come from morons?
That is an absolute 100% yes.
If swimming makes people thin, why do whales stay fat?
That's a fair question.
Oh, goodness gracious. Wow, too funny. So, biggest things I got coming up, I got a couple of speaking engagements coming up in the near future. I don't have them all sitting in front of me, but I know we just brought in Sammy Garrity last week for all of SCN, and dude, that rocks.
She was awesome.
Absolute rock star. Coming in March, we're bringing in Adam Cox. Adam's got a podcast with over 7 million downloads. He was a millionaire by the age of 27. And just an incredible story about how he got there and the way he did it. So I'm really excited. So that's for all the members of Success Champions Networking. Jessica, Peyton, and I will be down in San Antonio on the March 19th. We're doing How to Network Without Being a Jackass workshop down there. I think we're heading over to Austin on the 20th to do a breakfast or lunch there, and then back home. Jessica's speaking at a women's event down there. So lots of really cool things. What you got?
And don't forget the Badass Business Summit's coming up September 18th to the 20th here in Fort Worth, Texas. If you go to badassbusinesssummit.com, all the tickets are on sale now. And if I were you, I would go get your tickets early. We do expect this event to sell out. The hotel is inexpensive. I think it's $139 a night this year. So everybody can stay on property and enjoy the networking, all the people we're having there. Sponsorships are available. There's a button on there you can click, fill out a form if you want to do something on the sponsorship side. More than happy to have that conversation with anybody. So we will be super excited, between 150 and 160 business owners all in one site for 3 full days. It's going to be amazing. So Bernie is speaking on stage. Donnie is speaking. I think I'm speaking on Wednesday during the SCN day. It's going to be a lot of fun. So come hang out with us.
Are we doing another podcast live from Babs this year?
We're looking at the schedule to see if we can do it.
Yeah, schedule's tight this year, but we do want to do some really cool podcasts. So there's a lot of podcasters coming in. So trying to figure out how we can do one giant podcast with everybody at once, and little technical difficulties on that, but we're going to figure it out.
Yeah. And then if you guys want a chance to speak at the summit, there's a call for speakers out right now as well. So you can find that information on the site. But y'all go have a kick-ass week. Keep rocking and rolling. We're here every Monday having a lot of fun. Julie, you were amazing. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Julie, I'm glad you got to see me.
I'm glad I got to see you too. Donnie, the other, you know.
Yeah, right. I get it. I get it. So, y'all have a badass week. Stay out of trouble. Go sell something.
Hey, guys.
Love you, mean it. See you. Bye.
Bye.